Okay, guys. Week 19 of our mini trainings here at Inner Compass Coaching. And today we're going to jump into metaphor and storytelling, how to speak to the unconscious mind for change. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and of course, go to lifecoachlifestyle.com, link in the comments or in the show notes. Just go to lifecoachlifestyle.com, grab a hold of our book, Life Coach You. See if life coaching is something for you. If you're a coach, consider being a coach. If you just want to become a better human being in communication, then lifecoachlifestyle.com. I look forward to seeing you in there. But today, again, one of our mini trainings, which we keep under 10 minutes. And of course, in our one-on-one certification program, we go much deeper. But today I want to talk about metaphors, storytelling, how to speak to the unconscious mind. And I could speak on this for hours upon hours upon hours. And we will in our private classes. But for today, for the next 9 minutes, let's jump into some of the notes from our training program. I want to explain why metaphor and story, why they're so powerful. How to craft and deliver metaphors that align with their client's model of the world. How to use metaphors for deeper impact. How to weave them into stories, into sessions, and for insight and action. And we'll provide a framework. Again, 9 minutes. We'll do as much as we can. So I want you to grab a hold of one very important statement here. Stories bypass the analytical mind, and they go straight to your unconscious mind. A well-placed metaphor can literally do what hours of logical explanation cannot do, and it creates a shift from the inside out. So why do metaphors work? What are metaphors? They're basically mental shortcuts. They link complex ideas to familiar experiences. They make abstract concepts tangible. They evoke emotion, not just thought, and they allow clients to discover meaning for themselves. Instead of saying, you need to just be persistent. You tell the story of how a river slowly carving a canyon through rock. The client sees themselves in the story and the lessons stick because they made the connection. Okay? So we want to use client-generated metaphors. This is when clients, you're working with someone and they use a metaphor. I often, for years I heard, I'm stuck. Wayne, I just feel stuck. And if I got on a call with someone and they didn't really know how to explain it, I said, do you feel like maybe you're stuck? And they're like, that's exactly it. I actually created a training course called Unstuck based on that. But if somebody says, hey, I just feel like I'm stuck, or I feel like I'm just sinking in quicksand, or whatever their story is, stay in their metaphor. Don't try to replace it with your own. If somebody said, I feel like I'm stuck in like quicksand, that's their metaphor. I explore it. Okay. What kind of quicksand is that quicksand? Talk to me about that. Share more. When you say you're stuck in quicksand, what do you mean by that? Or, hey, and let me ask you, what happens just before you feel stuck? So we want to go in, we want to explore, we want to go deeper into their metaphor, their mental image of their life. And then we'll start shifting in their own symbolic world. And let me ask you though, what would help you rise above that quicksand? This keeps ownership with the client and makes their change personal. Okay? So we need to identify, let's craft a metaphor. We need to identify one core challenge. What's the client's obstacle or goal? What's their obstacle? I'm overweight. I feel stuck. Whatever it may be. What's their goal? What's their goal? I want to lose weight. I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to add another 6 figures to my net worth in the next 6 months. Whatever it is. So what we're going to do is find a parallel in nature, story, or history. We're going to share something that they can easily picture. And we're going to let the metaphor reveal the shift without telling them directly. And of course, we're going to deliver this with pacing and pauses. You got to learn how to pause. You got to learn to talk, but then pause. You have to allow space for unconscious processing. Okay. For example, I once knew a gardener who had a very stubborn patch of soil. No matter what seeds he planted, nothing grew. Then one day he realized the soil itself wasn't bad. It was just compacted. So what he did was he loosened it. He literally like tilled it up. He added some water. And then literally it seemed almost overnight, growth happened everywhere. Whatever seed he planted grew. Because sometimes, Mr. Client, it's not about changing the seed. It's about changing the environment. Are you with me? And see, they can picture the soil being compacted. They can picture that. They can see somebody tilling it up, breaking it up, adding water. So I'm using visual, okay? And suddenly, no matter what seed he planted, it grew. It's not the seed, it was actually changing the environment. Are you with me? Now, this, of course, what I might want you to do is actually, let me give you a couple of examples of, we have a few minutes, of the metaphors. And I urge you to write these down, but also come up with your own. So I'm just gonna give you some really quick. One is the phoenix rising. So I may tell you, listen, if you really study history, there was a city long abandoned in gray sky, and all that, it was really just a charred city, long abandoned, but all that remained really was this cave. Inside of the cave, they found a great library. For years, ashes lay cold and lifeless until one morning, a single ember stirred. From it emerged a bird with wings of fire, lifting itself higher and higher, scattering sparks across the ruins. And wherever the sparks landed, green shoots began to push through the rubble. New birth. What was lost forever, what was gone forever, was now stronger, brighter, and unafraid of the flames. Now, that's a little out there, right? It's a little, for those who are really into like mystical woo-woo, okay? But then like a new path. Again, we'll go back to the river. The river, there was a river in the river, and find a place. River in the mountains that came through Mexico. The river followed the same course for centuries. It traced the valleys for lore like an unbroken promise. But there was one season, the rains came heavier than ever before, and the banks couldn't hold it. And then suddenly, when the rain kept coming, the river, it burst forth. It flooded meadows, it washed away old boundaries. And when the waters receded, people noticed there was a new channel that gleamed in the sunlight. Villages that had never seen its reflection now drank from its currents. And the river sang a different song, one of freedom, one of change. And sometimes that can be how we are. We just follow the same path year after year, maybe even decades. But then a transformational event comes. And it may look like a flood. It may look like a devastation. But that's just for a moment, just for a season. But when the waters recede, we see there's a new path. And now we're drinking from its currents. We're fishing from that. We're enjoying that on the bank of the new river. One of freedom, one of change. And see, that's the power of a metaphor. The power of a metaphor is they can see, okay, maybe I've just been stuck this many years, but now through this, there's a new opportunity. Okay? Now, I want to jump in more. I want to talk to you over the next few lessons. We're going to talk about nested loops, how to start a story, interrupt it, return, to build suspense and engagement, how to create open loops, closed loops, the hero journeys framework, pacing and leading. But today, I just want you to write down one metaphor from nature, movies, or daily life that you could use. I want you to note, how can I use that with my next client? And I want you to create a 1 to 2 minute story. 1 to 2 minute metaphor for our one-on-one clients. I want you to literally do this and send it in to me. So we'll be back next week. Next week is going to be an amazing week. So jump on board. Next week, we're going to go into advanced meta modeling question. So how to ask questions to get deeper into the unconscious in their world. Again, hey guys, really quick, lifecoachlifestyle.com. Grab a hold of it. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.